Jay, that's strangely close to Daniel Jones from the Giants. Daniel, is that you? Beat the Chiefs. Show me. If the Broncos and Russell Wilson can show me that they can beat the Chiefs, then I will start believing.
The crowd up. And so are this defense, and Kansas City won't snap the ball again. The Denver Broncos have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs.
David Montgomery on the Lions, former Bear, gonna make this his revenge game for sure. David Montgomery gets the touchdown that ices the game. No! And there's a flag. There's flags. There's flags. There's flags. There's flags. Snap, hold, kick.
Denver wins! Denver wins! Let's go!
They open. No!
What happened? Oh shit. What is going on, y'all? Welcome to week 4 of the Only Football Podcast. We got a game going on right now in Dublin. The Steelers running on 3rd and short and pick up the first down. The Steelers up 14-3 on the Vikings after the Steelers came out, won the coin toss, had to punt early. The Vikings drove down a really promising drive. Justin Jefferson with 5 catches on the opening drive, and then pretty much all Steelers since then. Got a little chippiness going on. We got little E in the chat. What's up, little E? Unnecessary roughness gets called on the defense. Wow. Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. All right. Pam Oliver reporting from Dublin. See if the Steelers can try to get some points here before the end of the first half and maybe extend their lead. Here's a pitch. Caleb Johnson picks up, looks like 1 yard. Not a great run there. Let me pull up fantasy football. Here we go. Aaron Rodgers, shotgun, standing on the 36-yard line of the Vikings. Ball snapped. Rodgers looking, checks down, and it's going to be dropped. And now it's going to be 3rd and 9. There we go. Looks like the production crew is struggling a little bit. They finally turned it to 3rd and 9 here. Here we go. Aaron Rodgers in shotgun. Kenneth Gainwell in the backfield with him. 5 seconds left on the play clock. 2 seconds. 1 second. Ball snapped right at the second. Rodgers looking, trying to stay in. And the old man takes off. And the ball's on the ground. It's picked up by the Steelers. In for Derek Jones. Picks up a couple more yards. Pure chaos on 3rd down, but the Steelers end up with the first down. Wow. This is why you run with the quarterback. Look Look at this. For Derek Jones saves the day. Mike Tomlin's laughing. He loves it. Aaron Rodgers. Honestly, his pocket presence on that play was amazing. It was the perfect balance between moving enough and not bailing on the play, right? I felt like he was very comfortable in a chaotic situation and then ultimately ended up saying, you know what, I can pick this up on my own, and took off running. Right, let's see. Am I playing anybody fantasy football wise in this game? Matchups. Here we go. Nope, I'm not playing anybody in this window. Yeehaw! TJ Hawkinson, I decided to bench in this game. Let's see if I made the right decision. Let's see. What does TJ Hawkinson have right now? 0. 0. TJ Hawkinson with 0. That's right, Brother K. Yeehaw! Yeehaw! All right, let's see. Let's see how mad the internet is right now about TJ Hawkinson. Why does TJ Hawkinson even put a uniform on anymore? Dude's just out there running around. Come on, do something with the stick. Poking him. TJ Hawkinson not getting the ball today, huh? Not one pass to TJ Hawkinson. Hey, that's your guys' fault. If you were relying on TJ Hawkinson, you need to figure out what's wrong with you. Here we go. Rodgers, play action. Gives it to Washington, the big tight end. Damn, he's a big boy. Darnell Washington. In his second year, I believe. 264. He looks like he's 280. That is a big boy. Here we go. 2nd and 5 from the 10-yard line. You like the spacing here for another first down. Rodgers sack lunch just gets slung down like a piece of meat. We got Ginger in the chat. What's up, Ginger? Man, and I talked about this offensive line. It could have been a horse collar. No, it looks like he grabbed the back of his jersey. Not so much. And we got Ginger heading to only football. Let's go, baby. We got Lil E in the chat. I got some caramel macchiato. Here we go, 3rd and 15 after the 10-yard sack. Rodgers throwing to Kenneth Gainwell. Gainwell is going to come about 6 yards short. Picks up about 9. So we're going to get a field goal attempt by Broswell, and Rodgers is obviously disappointed because it was 2nd and 5 from the 10-yard line. You'd like to score a touchdown on that. All right, here's Chris Broswell. A 30-yard attempt here. Snap. Hold on. Blocked. It's blocked. And the Steelers get the field goal blocked. And it was who else but Pace Jr., the star linebacker. Wow. Unbelievable. Ivan Pace coming off the edge. And now the Steelers are really disappointed. Darnell Washington is trending right now, probably because he's such a big dude. I know. Darnell Washington ain't no 264. That's what I was saying. I'm like, he's all a 280. There's no 264. We got Ginger. What's up, Loey? Work sucking balls so far, but it is what it is. Yeah, work sucks balls. It does. Darnell Washington literally looks like an offensive lineman out there. There's no way he's 264. Darnell Washington, 264. Yeah, and Grizzly Adams had a beard. Grizzly Adams did have a beard. Oh, okay. It was Isaiah Rodgers who got the block, actually. How is that not leverage? That player did exactly what the Broncos guy did when he got called for leverage against the Colts. She not a lady if she ain't 280. Can we have the Denver Broncos horse kick both of us in the head? Because work sucks, donkey dick. Uncle Scott. Let me just call Miles and see what he's got going on for the rest of the day. Ooh. Roughing the passer turns a simple check down to the running back. What? That was such a weak call. He didn't even tackle him. He just kind of hit him in the head with his hand. Look at the swing of momentum here. It was about to be 17-3, a 14-point lead. Now the Vikings have an opportunity here to pick up a couple more first downs and make it a one-possession game. And we know that they get the ball to start the second half. So could have been a game-altering moment, that blocked field goal. It's already looking like a pretty significant moment. 132. Wentz looking to throw, taking a shot downfield. Oh my gosh, it's dropped right out of the hands of Scott. Did I say out of the hands? Let me say it. You gotta catch that ball, dude. I like the way O'Connell calls the way he attacks the different layers of the defense. And I've noticed that he is really good at attacking that mid layer on first down. Here, Justin Jefferson with an amazing catch, maybe a better throw. The anticipation to throw this ball, unreal. Kevin O'Connell, this offense is all about timing. Here we go. Carson Wentz going quick, snap, looking, great pocket movement, throwing, and that's going to be caught. Scott able to come down with this one after the ball went through his hands on the deep shot. Just like that, man. The Vikings are in Pittsburgh territory. Here we go. Wentz looking, firing, wide open. Justin Jefferson. And Justin Jefferson couldn't keep his feet underneath him. He's so upset that he lost his footing because he had an opportunity to score, but he just pulled a Danny Dimes and just fell on his own feet. Here's Wentz trying to avoid the sack, flips it to Scott. And Scott tries to stiff arm Patrick Queen, and Patrick Queen brings him down by the hand, and Justin Jefferson still mad that he lost his footing. We've had issues in our international games with the field, in the quality of the field being game ready. Brazil obviously was almost a dangerous situation, but Justin Jefferson, man, just trying to get back up after slipping, and it was a classic scary movie scene where Scream is just walking and the person trips and falls and they're freaking out so much that they can't even just get back up. They just keep tripping. Here we go. 2nd and 12. I'm hooked up to the Bluetooth. Carson Wentz in a drop. TJ Hawkinson drops the ball on 2nd and 12. That would have set them up with a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. Instead, it's 3rd and 12 with 20 seconds left. And now we get a chance to see what I think has to be a shot to Justin Jefferson. Could have been thrown better to TJ Hawkinson, but should have been caught. By far should have been caught. 3rd and 12. Blitz coming off the edge. Wentz throwing it up. It is caught by a Steeler, but it's going to be out of bounds. And that was Darius Slay, who was trying to stay in bounds. Let's see. He catches it. Oh. Out of bounds, but a great catch. Here we go. A 33-yard attempt to bring it. Oh, my goodness. Jalen Ramsey offsides. So they had the open hand count. Usually the open hand is when they snap it, but the Vikings were going on 2 open hand. And on the first open hand, Steelers took a chance. Jalen Ramsey came flying off, trying to block the field goal, but the ball hadn't even been snapped yet. So offsides, Vikings make the kick the second go around. Greg Olson said he tried his first ever Guinness. I wouldn't say I loved it. That's crazy. Here we go. All right. And see, modify. Image, choose. Recent 9:53. Recent 9:53. There we go. How is that? Got a nice little scoreboard ticker up there for you. We'll go right there. There we go. All right. 6-14, one score game. I think if you're a Vikings fan, you got to feel pretty good about what your team was able to do to close out that first half. Looked like this game might have got away from the Steelers. It was looking like potentially going to be 21-3. Major turn of events. Really, when they sacked Aaron Rodgers on 2nd and 5, that changed everything. It brought up 3rd and 15. That led them having to get the ball to Kenneth Gainwell. He's only able to pick up 9. Then they bring out the field goal unit. The field goal gets blocked, and then the Vikings go on a pretty nice drive. Justin Jefferson's still mad he didn't score. He got tripped up on his own feet, but at least they were able to get 3. And at the minimum, that blocked field goal was a 6-point swing. DK Metcalf with the big touchdown in this game. Man, he's already got 122 yards in this game. Yeah, 122 yards, a touchdown, and 4 receptions in the first half. Ricky Pearsall is probably going to have a better game at the office than we thought with the news that Brock Purdy is going to play today. A lot of people did not know this. This was breaking news. Brock Purdy is going to play today. It is not going to be Mac Jones. Brock Purdy has no injury designation going into this game. Of course, Kyle Shanahan probably kept this whole thing close to the chest so that way the Jaguars would game plan for Mac Jones all week. But then they were forced, to release their final injury report. And Brock Purdy has no injury designation. So sneaky move by the 49ers. I get it completely. It's it's like Sean Payton always says, I'm not going to talk about injuries because there's no upside to us, right? Nothing good can come from us revealing this information. It only benefits the other team. I get it that the fans want to know, but it's like at our own demise do we give this information for the fans if it hurts us? And I, for one, as a fan, am like, I don't need to know. Like, because I understand whatever's best for the team is what I want. So the 49ers did a good job of keeping this one under wraps. And we'll see Brock Purdy and how he looks coming back from injury today. And Ginger, give my uncle a look at the jersey real quick. Hell yeah. Peyton Manning. This is the 1997 collection, Mitchell and Ness. Immediately my favorite jersey. That's a good looking jersey there. I know, dude. I love this one. And it was a total coincidence because I was meeting Mary at the mall to get a suit for my sister's wedding, and I like walked in the wrong door, and I was trying to figure out where I was at. Mary's like, "I'm by the Cheesecake Factory." I'm like, "I don't know where that is." So I just walked into this sports store. And I thought I might have been at the wrong mall. So I walked into the sports store and I'm like, "Is there a Cheesecake Factory here?" And he goes, "Yeah." He was like, "It's on the other side." And I'm like, "Okay, thank you." Of course, I'm in a football store, so I'm like, "Let me just walk in a circle real quick, just a quick circle." I saw like a girls' Bo Nix jersey, but besides that, it was all college football stuff. So I'm walking out, and as I'm walking out of the store, there it is, hanging up very top, the first jersey when you walk in, and the last jersey when you're walking out. And I'm like, "Hey, can I see how this jersey fits me real quick?" And he's like, "What size are you guys?" Like, large. Brings this one down. I put it on. As soon as I put it on, I knew that this jersey was coming with me. I've bought in a lot of jerseys where like I put them on and I'm like, cool, I like it. I had never put a jersey on before that felt as good as this one. I don't know if it's the material it's made out of, the way it fits. I don't know. But it's like as soon as I put it on, it was like, wow, there's no chance that I leave without this jersey. 0% chance. Honestly, I'm probably going to be wearing this a lot until I'm going to try not to. But this is definitely going to the dry cleaners. Really pumped up for the Eagles Tampa Bay Bucks game later today. Let's see. I only have one player, two players, three players in the noon window. The guy I'm playing has Cortland Sutton and Chase Brown on Monday night. Let me show you guys my fantasy football matchup this week. Here is my matchup. Done. Got a nice little halftime show going right now in Dublin. Delete. 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 Here you go. This is my fantasy football matchup this week. So I got Lamar Jackson. I'm the feeling nicey. That's me. Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Worthy, Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey. You know, the 49ers don't have a rushing touchdown this season yet. Jonathan Taylor only projected 16 points. How disrespectful. Jonathan Taylor getting only 16 points. That's bullshit. He had 102 yards against the Titans week 1. He had 3 touchdowns in that game. I mean, he's only played in 3 games, but he's averaging 5.6 yards per carry. He's got 338 rushing yards on the season. He's averaging 112 rushing yards per game and 1 touchdown. His average, 112 rushing yards, 1 touchdown, and 31 receiving yards. He's played all 3 games. He's got 9 targets, and he's got 8 catches. So almost 100% of the targets have been caught when it comes to Jonathan Taylor. Almost 100 yards receiving, 93. He's got another touchdown as a receiver. I feel like he should be projected at least 19. Maybe not 20, but 16 seems a little low. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to agree with me. I know I'm right. Now let me see something really quick. Let me see. Fantasy football. Where is it? Fantasy football. All right. Let's go players. Taylor. Jonathan Taylor. Look at that. Fantasy week. Look at this. ESPN has Jonathan Taylor projected 19 points. What did I say? Maybe not 20, but 19. Look at this. I freaking called it. I was like, I wonder what he's projected on ESPN. Boom. Jonathan Taylor, week 4 projection, 19 points. Jonathan Taylor has been a nearly every snap player, only getting rested when the Colts are winning in a blowout. Through 3 weeks, Taylor has turned 68 touches into 431 yards and 4 touchdowns. His matchup in week 4 should be tougher against the Rams, who just held Saquon Barkley to 46 yards on 18 carries. But hold on. Hold the phone. Okay? Saquon Barkley, post Kellen Moore, I'm not saying he's not a good running back, but let's not act like Saquon Barkley's running at the same level Jonathan Taylor is. Let's not act like the Eagles' offense has been as good as the Colts' offense has been. When you're able to pick apart a defense with your quarterback, it opens up the running game. And the fact of the matter is, the Eagles just had their first game because they were down 26-6 to the Rams. Coincidentally, we're talking about the Rams. The Eagles finally got their offense clicking against the Rams, who they're making a point to say that the Rams were able to limit Barkley last week. The Eagles couldn't run the football. They were down 26-6. They had to abandon the running game. It's not because the Rams shut down Saquon Barkley, but even so, the offense, Saquon Barkley, the Eagles has not been what the Colts offense has been. Like, I don't think it's apples to apples. Like, I don't think because Saquon Barkley, by the way, like, we know why he didn't have a big week last week. It's because they had to abandon the running game. But let's say that wasn't the case. I don't think because Saquon Barkley struggled that Jonathan Taylor is definitely going to struggle. Jonathan Taylor is the number 1 running back this season. He's averaging 25 points per game. So I think it is a massive I think he's massively underrated right now, being put at 16 points. Now, where is my background? See? There we go. All right. Peyton Wilson, one of my favorite draft picks. They were able to draft Peyton Wilson in the 2nd round, I believe. He was somebody that should have went in the 1st round. He fell out of the 1st round. I believe he went to NC State, but he was one of my favorite players in the draft a couple years ago, and the Steelers were able to get him in the 2nd round, either late in the 1st round, like 31, 32, or the 2nd round. And you're like, how do the Steelers who get a sack here? There's a flag on the play, but it might be on the Vikings. But once the Steelers drafted Peyton Wilson, I was like, man, this is going to be just like when they were able to draft T.J. Watt at 31 or 30 overall. The Steelers have been really good about sitting at the very back of the draft and picking the player that has no business being there. The Eagles have the same exact philosophy. That's how they got Nolan Smith a couple years ago, who was projected to go as early as 12. And then they were able to land him. And somehow Jalen Carter, they landed at 12. He was supposed to go number 1. Alvin Austin loses about 5 yards, gets pummeled right away. But the Steelers defense, they do their job. And now Aaron Rodgers coming back out onto the field. Some pretzels. Dots. We got Crafty in the chat. What's up, Crafty? Welcome to Dublin. Oh, Colorado falls to BYU. Man. Wow. All I'll say is all the people that are saying Coach Prime is the worst in-game manager in the history of the universe, and I can't wait till Coach Prime gets fired. I hope he does leave, so Colorado can return to being the shit stain that they were for the entirety of my life. I feel like Colorado fans are getting too far ahead of themselves, acting like somebody better is going to come and take this job. It's the same thing with Sean Payton. It's like you would think after all of the years of not having a good head coach and all of the terrible things that we've been through, that it would take a little more than 2 losses in the last second of the game by 2 undefeated teams to make us wanna get Sean Payton out of town. It's like fans are just so fragile, and they always believe that the grass is greener on the other side, and we know that the grass is greener where you water it. Now someone like Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh, who have had sustained success but haven't won a Super Bowl, does that have an expiration date? Maybe, but Gainwell on the ground picks up 7. But teams that haven't had any success for a long time and finally start to have success, and then as soon as they have a bad year, everyone's like, "Fire him, fire him." I'm not gonna lie, Mike McDaniel is a perfect example. The Dolphins have been asked my entire life. This is the first time they've been an actual respectable team, is the Mike McDaniels era. And yeah, maybe they need to take this roster, dump it upside down, and burn it all down. But I don't think that firing the one guy that's made you relevant in the last 25 years is the smart move when he's the best thing you have right now. That's just my opinion on it. And I'm surprised that he hasn't earned more than a bad year. I mean, look at the way Tua looks out there. Does he look like somebody you could win a bunch of games with? Look at Tyreek Hill. Does he look like the same guy he was? I mean, oh, a big time hit on the punt return, and there's a flag. Crafty, congrats on reaching 1K literally 5 minutes after you closed your stream. I know. I said that was going to happen. I said that was going to happen. I'm like, as soon as I end this stream, we're going to hit 1,000 subs. Both your streams are getting carpet bombed. Yeah. All right, let me see if I can delete these. Delete, 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 delete. There we go. That should work for now. Low key, that's so dope that y'all hit 1,000 subs. I'm gonna go on a limb and say high key. I think it's dope high key. That's just me. I'm not afraid to say it. High key. But put a dog shit in the chat if you agree high key. Love it. Love it, Lil E. Rick says low key. Everybody put a dog shit in the chat for Rick. Come on. Let's go. Dog shit in the chat. Put it in there. Come on, guys. Put a dog shit in there. Guys, I'm kidding. Yeah, hitting 1,000 subs is absolutely awesome. Dog shit in the chat if international games are trash. Dude, this game's been awesome. This game's been awesome. I feel like I made a whole like thing about how international games are always dog shit. And this game's actually been pretty awesome. There's like each team has been able to drive down the field. There's been what is there 30 some points or 20 points scored so far. The second half just started. DK Metcalf has like 120 yards receiving. Justin Jefferson has close to 100 yards receiving. Carson Wentz is playing really good. Aaron Rodgers is seeing the field really well. Kevin O'Connell's coaching a great game. I think Mason's running the ball well for the Vikings. Steelers haven't been able to run the ball as well as the Vikings, but I've noticed that the Vikings are doing a really great job on first down, completing big time passes, and I wonder if they're the league leader in passing on first down. Because it seems like every first down in this game they've taken a shot. Wow. They run a draw to Mason on second and 10, and it picks up 8 yards. Jordan Mason, man, he's the real deal. There were people talking about, Kyle, don't ever disagree with me again. You're right. My bad. Dog shit. I didn't know there was a Saints emoji. Wentz may have just hurt his arm. Yeah, he threw the ball, and it looks like I think he's going to be all right. 3rd and 3, Wentz, and a quick slam. Remember, Jordan Addison, that was Adam Thielen, but Jordan Addison is back. And they brought Adam Thielen in because of the Jordan Addison suspension. And now here they are stacked together. All they're doing by stacking them that close together is they're just dictating the leverage of the Steelers' defense. Here's Jordan Mason on the handoff who picks up 9 yards. And Jordan Mason. I wanted Jordan Mason. I wanted Achane. I wanted Peyton Wilson. I wanted who's the Tyler, who's the safety for the Giants? I wanted Jared Verse. I want to make a mock team of all the guys that I've wanted because I get so frustrated. Like every time I see Jordan Mason go out here and have 10-yard chunk gains at a time, I'm just like, why didn't we pick him up? Like, we needed a running back. Why was he not somebody that we were willing to pay? I just don't understand. It's like, I'm not that smart of a person, and I knew that Mason would have been amazing. And instead, we're like, let's go with J.K. Dobbins, which I'm fine with J.K. Dobbins, but it's like he's not Mason. He has yet to be healthy a full season. I just don't understand, and I think a lot of fans can relate how it feels when you're watching your team make moves, and it's like sometimes the most obvious choice is the best. Like Jordan Mason was the best running back available, and honestly, there wasn't even a ton of interest for him outside of the Vikings. Second and 8. Oh, through the hands of Jordan Addison. Welcome back. Uh-oh. We got Liam in the chat. What's up, Liam? Wow, Carson Wentz on 3rd and 6 picks up a first down with his legs. What did I just see? Carson Wentz. Wow, little E throwing a dog shit in the chat for me. That's crazy. That's crazy work. That's diabolical. What are all the words people are using right now? Diabolical, crazy work. Oh, wow. Carson Wentz. The ball's on the ground. And the Vikings able to recover it. She got a dunk. Did you see that? Carson Wentz went low and a Steeler went flying over Carson Wentz. Look at this. You got a safety blitz, corner blitz. And look at this. Boom! On Peyton Wilson. Peyton Wilson comes flying off the edge, and Carson Wentz was able to duck. That was amazing. Carson Wentz taking a beating out there. 2nd and 1, they're going to fake the pitch, and now the Steelers are going to blow this up. TJ Watt in company. Tackle for loss. 3rd and 16. They're trying to run kind of like a fake the pitch RPO where they can throw it to fake the pitch and then throw it to the flat to TJ Hawkinson. But TJ Watt, after the fake pitch, TJ Watt doesn't fall for it, and he can't make that throw to TJ Hawkinson because Watt's in his face. So he has to, pretty much abandon that play, and then he ends up getting tackled. It's intercepted by TJ Watt. TJ Watt takes it to the 35-yard line in the Steelers. And he punts it into the crowd, and the $123 million man takes over. Now, look, there has been a lot of talk, a lot of chatter about whether or not they should have paid TJ Watt based on what we've seen this season. I believe he just got his first sack last week. And it's like sometimes people just look at the stats and it's like that doesn't tell the whole story. Sometimes one guy's getting double team, triple team, so he's not getting a lot of sacks, but now the other guy is. Like, look at Micah Parsons. He comes to Green Bay, and is he leading the team in sacks? No. But Rashawn Gary has more sacks than he's ever had with the Packers because of Micah Parsons. So it's like TJ Watt is still a very disruptive player, and he is still getting after the quarterback, even if he doesn't have a bunch of sacks so far to prove it. But right there, I think that series of events just tells you how important TJ Watt is to this team. He blew up the play before this, which led to like a 7-yard sack. Then he turns around and takes the ball on third down. I mean, you talk about how many wins is a player worth, and there's a lot of different metrics to do this, but generally a player might be worth like 0.5 wins. Um, Look, there's multiple games this year where you're looking at the Steelers going, TJ Watt. I mean, the Vikings driving down the field, they score a touchdown, they have an opportunity to tie the ball game, and TJ Watt not only denies the Vikings points, but takes the ball from the Vikings and then puts the Steelers in scoring position at the 35-yard line. Like that might result in a win, that type of play. So, I mean, when it comes to how valuable a player is, like I'm convinced TJ Watt wins 6 to 8 games for the Steelers every year. I'm not even kidding. And then Crafty said, "Is Wentz crashing down to earth?" Honestly, no. Just TJ Watt doing TJ Watt things. I think Carson Wentz looks awesome. Really, I do. Justice for Rick. I wish Steelers would have recovered it. No, you don't. You don't wish that because they did recover it on the next play. Dude, yeah, think about that. We didn't even talk about the fumble forced. Aaron Rodgers, low snap, has to pick it up off the ground and throw it, and he gets it out to Darnell Washington, who they had listed at 245, right? That dude's all of 280. That dude's all of 280. Tip, look at TJ Watt, man. Is anybody better at getting their hands up, getting batted balls, but then the awareness to track it? I mean, TJ Watt, one of the best defensive players the NFL's ever seen. Here's a handoff. Kenneth Gainwell takes it into the red zone. And now the Steelers with an opportunity here late in the third quarter to score a touchdown, extend the lead to 2 possessions, and hold that going into the fourth quarter. A lot of football left. Something tells me this game, no matter what happens on this drive, this game's going to be coming down to the final 2 minutes. That's just what my gut tells me. This is going to be a close ball game. Here we go. Aaron Rodgers, pitch. Kenneth Gainwell, right side, 20, 15. And they pick up 6 or 7. Gainwell starting to roll. Second and 4. Handoff. Gainwell. Touch. Oh, he goes down. Looked like he was about to score. Let's go. The Steelers right now are minus 2,500 favorites to win. Now, I'm going to wait until they score. I'm going to wait until they score a touchdown, and I'm going to bet the Vikings. Here we go. Touchdown, Steelers. Touchdown, Steelers. Now I'm going to get way better odds with the Vikings. It's at plus 1,200. Let's see. Let's see what it jumps to after this touchdown. There it is. Touchdown. 21, 20. I'm going to go 13. I'm going to go. All right. Plus 1,200. And then I'm going to pair that with my upset of the week, which is the Jaguars over the 49ers, and then the Bears over the Raiders. $3 wins 100. $3 wins $200. Okay. There. I got Vikings winning, Jaguars and Bears. Now I think the Steelers are going to win, but for $3, I think that's some. Now plus 11.5. I'll put 6 on that to win 5. There we go. I bet $6 to win 5. That this is going to be a game that's within 11.5 points. So essentially my $3 gamble on the 200, that's a free $3 because I know this game's going to be within 11.5. The Vikings are going to score on this drive. It's going to be a one possession game. And then we're going to have the whole fourth quarter for the Vikings defense to make a play. And the Vikings defense has been able to, get the ball back when they needed it. So I think this is going to be a close game. This is why I like live betting. It's just you can take advantage of these lines like plus 1,300. It's a two possession game in the third quarter. That's insane. But I love it. Here we go. Big return. Vikings all the way down. There's a flag way back at the 28. Oh, man, this one's coming back. Holding on the return team after the Vikings take it into nearly the red zone for the Steelers on the return. This one's coming back. Wow. All right. Here we go. Carson Wentz under center. 3-step drop back, taking a deep shot downfield. Incomplete. Intended for Justin Jefferson, and Carson Wentz just trying to make a play. I told you the common theme, deep shots on first down. The Vikings continue to take deep shots on first down, and if I'm the Steelers, that's something I'm playing. That is something I'm playing. Jalen Ramsey comes off the field. Uh-oh. Mason picks up only a yard, 39. Steelers often use creative disguises and variations of cover 3 and zone coverage. 6th sack of the game. Now, we talk about the disguises. Look at this. The offensive line. Dude, they got a guy whose last name is Skull on the offensive line for the Vikings. That is so cool. It is so close to Skull. Oh! This is going to be returnable from the 40. Retracts field, turns the corner, and it looked like if he could have stayed on his feet, there was a chance for a bigger return. But Calvin Austin, a good return. He's got some speed on him. What did Calvin Austin 40-yard dash time? 4.32. That checks. This time was met with applause and demonstrated his elite speed, contributing to a high relative athletic score, RAS 9.43 out of 10. Calvin Austin, 40-yard dash time. Absolutely remarkable, 4.32. Now, let's look up the 2022 fastest 40-yard dash times. All right, so 4.23 by Kalen Barnes, 4.26 by Tyreek Woolen. Others included Tyquan Thornton. The wide receiver that we have been talking about. Tyquan Thornton. It all comes back to Tyquan Thornton, who was selected 50th overall to the New England Patriots. He didn't pan out. Now he's with the Chiefs, and he's emerging as a receiver that, you know what? I'm picking up Thornton right now. Because Thornton, I think, is just getting started. Tyquan Thornton. Somebody has him? Somebody picked him up. Oh, well. Oh, well. I didn't need him. I don't need him. I'm undefeated. Ho. Embrace the struggle. Steelers division looks weaker than usual. So for this reason, the Ravens could end up 1-3 after today. Does the division look weak, or is the division so good that they're beating each other up? I don't even know if I've seen an AFC North divisional game yet this year, so. But the Ravens, they started 1-2 last year. It didn't affect their season at all. And then the Steelers, geez, Johnson with a 9-yard gain on first down. The Steelers were the team I took to win the North. And everybody laughed at me. No one's laughing now. Look, remember when Peyton Manning joined the Denver Broncos in 2012, they went 13-3. I mean, they went 13 and I think they went 12-4 actually. Broncos 2012 reg season record. No, they went 13-3. I was right. But remember, week 1, they beat, guess who? The Steelers. Peyton Manning's first game as a Denver Bronco. It was on Sunday Night Football. I watched it in my mom's room. I remember that game. Week 2, the Broncos lose. They're 1-1. Week 3, Broncos lose. They were 1-2. Week 3, Broncos lose. They're 1-3. Week 5, the Broncos are playing the Chargers on Thursday Night Football. The Chargers are winning 24-0. The Broncos are 1-3. Peyton Manning comes back, wins that game, and doesn't lose another game for the rest of the season. Tom Brady, Tampa Bay Bucks, his first season with the Bucks. They struggled. Tampa Bay 2020 schedule, it didn't go the way people remember it. They did win the Super Bowl, which is crazy, right? They beat the Chiefs 31-9. But if you go back that year to September, they lost week 1. They were 1-1. Then they were 2-1, 3-1. Then they were 3-2, lost to the Bears. 4-2, 5-2, 6-2. Then they got beat by the Saints 38-3. 5-3, 6-3, 6-4. Lost to the Rams. Lost to the Chiefs 6-5. They were 6-5 by week 12. That was Tom Brady's Super Bowl winning season. They were 6-5. I mean, that Saints game, Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions. He didn't have a single touchdown. He was shut out. So I say all that to say, whether it's Tom Brady, whether it's Peyton Manning, whether it's Aaron Rodgers, typically it takes half the season for the offense to really start clicking. For Aaron Rodgers really to know, okay, if DK Metcalf's covered, who's the guy I'm going to go to? Is it Calvin Austin? What is this offense really going to look like? How good is Ty Johnson going to be? How good is Jaylen Warren going to be? How effective is Darnell Washington going to be as a receiver? All of these things. Here's a quick throw to DK Metcalf, first down. That's his first catch of the second half after having 120 yards and a touchdown in the first half, 112 yards, I believe. But the Steelers are going to get better. They're going to continue to grow. The offense is going to continue to click. The running game hasn't been great, and the defense hasn't been playing great, whether you're talking about stopping the pass or the run. And the pass rush finally looks like it's starting to click this week. I think a lot of things are starting to click for the Steelers, but I always anticipated them kind of struggling early in the season, but being good enough to win as they struggle. Oh, Calvin Austin is down. Caught a ball, immediately had to drop to a knee. That has been Aaron Rodgers' number 2 guy, and because of that, Mike Tomlin's coming out onto the field to see what's going on with his young star receiver who ran a 4.33. DK Metcalf exchanging some words with the Vikings. Aaron Rodgers has to go talk to him. DK Metcalf saying, "You're a loser." And Rodgers has a smile on his face. He loves it. I love how they just panned on DK Metcalf ranting for 30 seconds, and the announcer said nothing, and then they just went to commercial break. Dude, what is with the spam? Ban user and delete their comments. There we go. Ban user, delete their comments. There we go. All right. Rooting for the Broncos today for you, Brother K. Thank you, Little E. Keep in mind the Broncos don't play today, but I appreciate the sentiment. And it is time to update the ticker because of I forgot who scored. Who scored? I think it was Ty Johnson. Let me see who scored. Ty Johnson. No? Ty Johnson is Buffalo's running back. Oh, Caleb Johnson. Caleb. I think it's Caleb with a K. Yeah. Caleb Johnson. No, he's only got 1 point. Warren. Jalen Warren. He's got 0 points. 0 points. Oh, he's out with a knee. When did that get released? Because I had 4 people ask me last night if they should start Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren inactive for Steelers Vikings. Well, at least all of those people that I said to start, who did I say? I forgot, but I was like, I would start this guy over Jalen Warren. At least I was right by default. Here's Aaron Rodgers in shotgun. He's going to hand it off. And the Steelers able to grind 6-7 yards on the ground. This is getting chippy. This is getting chippy. There's going to be a fight here soon. The Steelers are in the faces of the Vikings saying first down. It's getting personal. I'll put it that way. It's getting personal. Here's Caleb Johnson in the backfield. He's got 18 yards on 4 carries. Darnell Washington motions to the left. We'll see if they run that way or if they fake it. They're going to motion Darnell back to the right, run it to the right, and only pick up a yard there. Whistles blowing and refs once again breaking up the Steelers and the Vikings. And if you're the Steelers, I think I wouldn't be against calling a timeout if I'm Mike Tomlin. And because you got a 2-possession lead, you're about to score again, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. I would call the timeout and say, look, it is so crucial we get at least 3 points on the board here. If you guys take a unnecessary roughness, you're going to take us out of field goal range potentially. We can't have that. Here's a draw on 2nd and 9. Big time hit. Open field tackle by number 22 for the Vikings. And it's going to be 3rd and 7, I believe. Aaron Rodgers huddled up. 3rd and 6 officially. And either way, Broncos win is coming and Steelers reign in their division. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Yes, it happened either week 1 or week 2. Rodgers, 12 for 14 on quick passes, and Pittsburgh calls a timeout here. So I thought this was a good time to call a timeout. I was thinking of doing it on 2nd down, but I think it's a good timeout by the Steelers. This is a really important play coming up. All of that to say, against the blitz, Brian Flores, one of the highest blitzing, confusing blitzes, different packages. He throws it at you. Aaron Rodgers, I thought, he's going to be able to combat this with quick throws. I mentioned this yesterday. You're going to see the ball coming out of Aaron Rodgers' hands quick. And I thought if Jaylen Warren was playing, he would benefit from a lot of those quick, screens. Rodgers is 12 for 14 on quick passes, so he has been winning that chess match against Brian Flores today. 3rd and 6. Vikings send 5. Rodgers throwing an out route. The timing not quite there. And a field goal coming up. That'll make it still 24-6. 18-point game. Vikings offense just needs to get a quick score. Go for 2. Make it 14-24. Field goal's good. I believe in Malcolm. Where you at? You sexy thing. I believe in Malcolm. Where are you at? Done. Unblur image with AI. see. Upload image. And I'm updating the ticker right now. I'm seeing if I can unblur it so it looks clearer. It does look clearer. Download HD. 7-day free trial. How much is it after the 7-day free trial? Let's not. Just download preview. Let's see. Right. And modify. There we go. How does that look? That's a clear ticker if I do say so myself. That's a good looking ticker, baby. All right. Yeah, they got to go quick. Jordan Mason in the backfield, stack receivers to the top, JJ to the bottom. He beats his man quick, and TJ Hawkinson with his first grab of the day. And looks like the Steelers might be hurt. And yeah, we're going to get whistles. It looked like there was a Steeler hurt. He gets up. He's just 36 years old. He's not hurt. That's just how long it takes to get up. All right, so if they score a touchdown, it'll be 13 down 11. So you would need 8 and a field goal. Cameron Hayward walks off. I guess he's got to walk off for a play. 10 minutes and 3 seconds. They got to go quick. They don't have the luxury of taking their sweet time. They got to move. 9:54, 9:53, 9:52. Carson Wentz, shotgun, almost at midfield. They got the ball at the 46.5-yard line of their Vikings. Here's a throw, caught Justin Jefferson, and that ball takes it to the 34-yard line of the Steelers. They got to go quick. Go quick. You got to get a quick score in. This is going to be a game. The Steelers are going to try to get a turnover or something here. Fakes the handoff. Blitz coming. And he just throws it in the ground. At least it stops the clock. Carson Wentz takes a pretty good hit. Carson Wentz showing that he's hurt. I don't know if he's just doing it for attention. Just kidding. There's JJ McCarthy. Didn't look great this year. Doesn't look great tonight. Just kidding. 2nd and 10. Carson Wentz looking, firing, and he's going to get it to Hawkinson, and that's going to be good for a first down. Takes it to the 23-yard line. They got to go quick. They got to continue to go quick. Holy crap, his last name is Skull. Skull! How long have the Vikings been waiting for that? They're like, what, a guy whose last name's Skull or TJ Hawkinson to catch the ball? Both. Here's another throw to TJ Hawkinson, this time to the 17-yard line, and Hawkinson's starting to finally make a couple plays in this game. 2nd and 4. Time is really the enemy here. You got to get something in the end zone. You got to start throwing it to the end zone. You still need 2 possessions at a minimum after a touchdown. It's a 3-score game. Luckily, you have all 3 timeouts. You got to score here. Here's a rollout and incomplete. At least it stops the bleeding clock. 3rd and 4. Third down. So I guess this is technically a home game for the Steelers. Third down and 4. Carson Wentz. He's going to run it himself. No, he throws it. Is that a cut? Did he catch it? They're going to say touchdown. Vikings. Xavier Scott. Did he get his feet in? I think he did. That's a great catch. He's in. 2 feet down. Yeah, that's in. That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. They're going to go for 2. I love this. Better to know now whether you need a field goal and a 2-point conversion or 2 touchdowns. Here we go. Quick throw. Caught. 2-point conversion's good. It's a 10-point game. 14-24. Two-point conversion is good. And there is life in Dublin for the Vikings. 12 turns into 14. And it is 14-28. What a game. What a game this has turned into. Here we go. Done. Recent screenshot. 11 at Melon. I believe in Malcolm. You sexy thing. And it is time to update the ticker because of I forgot. Boom. All right, we're done with that. Boom. Image. Boom. And the ticker is updated. 14 to 24 after the 2-point conversion. They're going to kick this one off normal. And the Vikings need a quick stop. We got KC in the chat. Hey, guys, who you got? Well, it's looking like the Steelers are going to win, but I think the Vikings are going to rally and make it a game. They definitely need a quick 3 and out here. That's a great throw by Carson Wentz. Just a great play by Carson Wentz. When they needed a touchdown, he came through. 14-24. We'll see how conservative the Steelers play this. They're going to run it on first down. And Gainwell is going to pick up 15. 14. Number 14 picks up 14. And that's not the start to this drive you want if you're the Vikings. You know that they're in drain the clock mode and you still give up 14 yards on the run. 72 yards on the ground for Kenneth Gainwell, who maybe is earning some snaps that when Warren comes back, he's still going to kind of take some of those snaps from him. Here is the blitz coming, and they're going to Aaron Rodgers. What a throw. Aaron Rodgers had to get rid of it. There was 2 Vikings about to tackle him, and he was able to get that ball out for a 6-yard gain and what was about to be a 10-yard loss. A 16-yard flip. Those are the plays right there that the Steelers couldn't make last year with Russell Wilson. This is one of the reasons that I took the Steelers to win the North. I felt like last year in a lot of games they won in spite of a lot of their quarterback play. I thought if Rodgers can just come out here and sustain drives, not play hero ball, just don't make bad mistakes, don't take a bunch of sacks, get the ball out quick, the Steelers are going to win 85% of their games. And it's what we've seen so far. Rodgers not really taking a lot of risks with the ball, being real safe. 3rd and 1 here. They're going to run a uh-oh, and now flags are being thrown. They're going to call this They're going to call 2 personal fouls on Dallas Turner. He's going to get ejected potentially. This is going to be an interesting call. Wow. And the unnecessary roughness is called on the defense. So now it's looking like the best thing the Vikings can do is hold them to a field goal, get a quick touchdown, and make it a one-possession game. Yeah, you can't smack people in the face. Not sure why he looks confused about that penalty. And KC said, "We're in Ireland." We are. We're in Dublin. Ireland, the place where maybe my ancestors lived in. Oh, and here's another hole. Inside the 10-yard line, Kenneth Gainwell. And Kenneth Gainwell looks like somebody worth picking up. Kenneth Gainwell. Available. I'm picking up Kenneth Gainwell. Back to the ground. Kenneth Gainwell. Waiver. Yeah. Submit. Create claim. Boom. I created a claim for October 1st to add Kenneth Gainwell and drop Houston's defense because I only picked up Houston's defense for today. So by October 1st, I'll be willing to part ways, go back to Green Bay, and Kenneth Gainwell. Keep him on the bench. It's starting to look like anytime Jalen Warren is going to miss time, Kenneth Gainwell's your flex. Now, what's going on with Jalen Warren and his injury? Because 3 hours ago, they made a final call on him. He was limited in practice because of a knee injury. So if he ends up missing some time, Kenneth Gainwell is probably worth rostering. Incomplete pass, 2nd and goal. Rodgers throws it into the end zone, and he's pissed. He feels like he missed an opportunity there. Rodgers like a statue signaling first down. I'm gonna play behind you. Oh, that was so funny. Yeah, he's like, perfect form. Old QBs don't push the pile. We got Hat on fire. How's it going? I'm like, this is honestly the earliest I've gotten up in a while. It is going good. Happy anytime you get to wake up and just be watching football immediately. It's a great, great day. 4th and goal. Rodgers and the offense fighting to stay on the field here. They're staying on the field. And this was a team effort by the Steelers. They collectively decided that they were going to protest Mike Tomlin's decision. And Mike Tomlin said, well, at least they did it as a team. Here we go. Ball snap. It's a handoff. Gainwell, he's going to be short. So why run it on 4th and goal from the 5? I thought the go for the kill shot here and just try to put the Vikings out of reach by going up 31-14 made a lot of sense. Running the football, though, is a very interesting call. It almost worked. It almost worked. Here we go. Under center. They got to go 99 yards. They're going to run it, and Jordan Mason's going to get 5 yards on 1st down. They get some breathing room here. And they got to go quick. No huddle. Here we go. 2nd and 4. They got to go quick. It's looking like an onside kick if they can't score in the next minute and 40 seconds. They still have 1 timeout. The 2-minute warning. Quick throw. Jefferson caught. They got to go. 3:30. Got to go. Are they huddling up? What is going on? Little E, 29 years old on Friday. Steelers dub would be a great start. Happy early birthday, Lil E. Me and KC say happy birthday. And there is a Steeler that's injured. That's Eccles. And that stops the clock at 3 minutes, 29 seconds. TJ Watt. Somebody that can seal a game for you. You got to make sure you put a body on TJ Watt. Adam Fire says, happy birthday, Lil E. We all say happy birthday. Here we go. Shotgun, Carson Wentz looking to throw, firing deep downfield, wide open. Jordan Addison down the field, 20, and he goes down at the 1-yard line. A tackle saving touchdown. That's going to cost them 25 seconds, that tackle, because they got to run and get set. They got to go 90 yards now. And they're going to run it here. Jordan Mason tackled. And now they got to run another play. That tackle's turning into an entire minute coming off the clock. They got to go quick. They only got one timeout. They got to score before the 2-minute warning at least. They got to go. They got to go. What are you guys doing? Go. What are you doing? You can't spend that much time, dude. No sense of urgency. Let's go. Wentz. Incomplete. And now it's down to 2:16. That 45 seconds has come off the clock because of that tackle. You got to throw a better ball there if you're Carson Wentz. That's a touchdown. Carson Wentz? Oh my gosh, almost threw an interception. Now it's 4th and goal. In the Vikings, who had a touchdown. That touchdown saving tackle just changed everything. Carson Wentz just a very bad series of events here. Staring down his receiver on this play. The play before doesn't throw it to the outside shoulder. He throws it to the inside shoulder. Had a touchdown on that play. 4th and goal. They're going to fake the handoff. Carson Wentz, touchdown. And Naylor nearly dropped it. But at least they score a touchdown before the 2-minute warning. So they have a timeout. They have the 2-minute warning. And they're only going to need a field goal to tie the game. So this is all doable. You can kick the ball off normal. They're going to run the ball. You got to call your timeout. They're going to run it again. You got the 2-minute warning. They're going to probably run it again. 45 seconds is going to come off the clock. But if you play your cards right, you're looking at having about a full minute left with no timeouts to get in field goal range for Will Rickards, who can nail a 55-yarder no problem. Now, there's been a blocked field goal in this game already, but that was the Vikings who blocked it. So here we are, 21-24. KC said some injuries look like a simple fall. I guess it's combined wear and tear thing. Yeah, and sometimes the worst injuries are no contact injuries. Just that wear and tear, like you said, you're putting a lot of pressure on your body and your ligaments, and sometimes your body just can't take it. 2 minutes and 8 seconds, and here we go. It's weird that I'm in front of somebody for the first time. I've spent my whole life being a minute behind you guys, and today I'm ahead. They're gonna attempt an onside. I don't understand why. Why? I mean, wow. The Vikings haven't had a successful onside kick since 2016. Very surprised that they're going for an onside here. Onside kick. They're gonna blow it dead, and thankfully, because the Steelers call timeout. That was gonna go right to the Steelers. That was a terrible onside kick. I don't understand why they're going for the onside kick here. I really don't understand it. Why wouldn't you boot this? Try to get it returned. run down there, make a big tackle at the 20-yard line, play good defense, force them to punt the ball from the 20-yard line. Then you have a minute to go, and you're probably at the 35, 40-yard line, and you need what? 25 to 30 yards, and you got a minute to do it? This is a bad decision. I mean, if the Steelers recover it, which is a very high chance they do, they only need to go 10 yards for Chris Broswell to make this a touchdown where a field goal wouldn't tie it. I don't understand it. And the Steelers recover it, of course. What is the thinking here? I don't understand this. Why are they doing that? Why kick an onside there? I can't say it enough. I don't understand it. All right, 49-yard line. 4 yards to the 2-minute warning. 1 timeout left for the Vikings. And we'll go to commercial there. And time to update the ticker. Recents 11:09, 11:31. That's it. See, image, choose, recents. There we go. There we go. All right. Ticker is updated. It is 21:24. And 2-minute warning. So the Vikings 1 timeout. I guess this is the thinking of the onside kick. I've had some time to think about it. The Vikings are saying, look, you kick the onside, you have a chance to recover it. Okay, no problem. If we have a full minute, we feel confident that we can go, 45, 50 yards. So because of the time, we feel confident that we can do it. If we kick it off normal and they get a first down, the game's over anyway. So if we do the onside kick and they pick up the first down, the game's over anyway. And if they don't pick up a first down, they're not in field goal range. So they're punting it either way. So why not go with the upside of recovering the ball? I think that's the thinking here. Either way, you can't give up a first down. They're going to run it here again, and Gainwell's going back and stays in bounds somehow. The refs, did his toe go out? Look at Aaron Rodgers became a lead blocker here. They're going to go Did his foot go out of bounds, though? There was a Steeler saying that he went out of bounds. His foot went out of bounds. And if that's the case, it would have stopped the clock. Okay, so the Steelers are gonna go 2 plays here. They're going 2 plays here. If they don't pick it up here, they're gonna go for it. Here we go. 1:52. Timeout. Steelers. Aaron Rodgers is thinking, "Hey, let me do what I do. I'm trying to get him to jump." How is that not a touchdown? I mean, and of course, Peyton Wilson makes the game-saving tackle for the Steelers. Maybe the game-saving tackle, but look at Elliott standing there going, "What the heck?" Here we go, 3rd and 1. Here we go, penetration, and the Vikings are able to get a stop. A big-time stop by the Vikings. It's 4th down. Pittsburgh's got 20 seconds to decide what they're gonna do. 1 play to ice the game, and this game, as I said, was gonna come down to the very last minute, and here we are. 4th and 1, game on the line. Steelers need 1 yard. Delay a game. Wow. Wow. You get half a yard and the game's over, and the Steelers are punting now. Now it's 4th and 6. How does this happen? You had 45 seconds to know that you were gonna run the ball for a half yard to win the game. And now you're gonna punt the ball with 1 minute, 8 seconds? And look, like I said, this was the thinking of Kevin O'Connell. It was if we give up the first down, the game's over. At least we force them to punt. And now here's the punt. And this one is gonna go way into the back of the end zone. Not even an opportunity to pin them deep. So you got 20 seconds. I mean, 1 minute in 1 second. The ball's on the 20-yard line, and this is what the thinking was from Kevin O'Connell is, "Look, we can get in field goal range in 1 minute, 1 second. Let's go with the upside of potentially recovering this onside kick." And it didn't make a ton of sense at the time, but I understood it after kind of pondering for a minute. You could still make an argument that it wasn't the right call because of field position, but the fact that the Steelers couldn't pin him deep rescues them from that. Taking a intercepted, intercepted, intercepted. We got to make sure he was in bounds, but an interception on the first play. Did he have his feet in? I don't know if he did. I don't know if he had his feet in bounds. They're going to have to confirm this, obviously. One foot. I don't think he got it. I don't think he got it. That's why I didn't celebrate or make a big deal out of this, because I don't know if he had possession. And when if that ball's moving, which it is moving there, when he finally gets, that's not a great camera angle we're seeing on the screen, but does he have full possession though? Right there? If Wow, incomplete pass. Incomplete pass, it's been overturned. So there's the camera angle right there that I thought, yeah, he double clutches it. So until he catches it the second time, he only has 1 foot in by the time he catches it the second time. And yeah, that's an easy call by the refs, expedited review, and the game plays on. I believe this is by far the best international game the NFL's given to the international fans. So good product here. Steelers almost iced the game with an interception, and for the Vikings, they've been given second life. Here we go, 58 seconds. A field goal ties it. Ball snap. Carson Wentz looking, firing. Oh, it's dropped, but there's a flag. And it's going to be holding on the defense. So it's going to be 10 yards and at least a first down. That's going to be an automatic first down. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down. Patrick Queen matched up in the slot, and he just gets a hold of the jersey. That was the intended receiver who dropped the ball. That was a great ball by Carson Wentz. It should have been caught. But the holding penalty is going to give him a first down, and that's huge because it was going to be 3rd and 10. And you get into a situation where you got to convert, and it's 4th down. So here's a first down. A crazy jump off the line. TJ Watt. And another flag comes out. And now TJ Watt jumped off sides. It looked like TJ Watt jumped off sides to me. And it is a neutral zone infraction. It was pretty clear TJ Watt jumped. Now, he's got one of the best jumps in the league. But even so, this one was a little early. You see TJ Watt at the bottom of your screen. That actually looks really close. I would have to see that again. I would have to look again. Sometimes Von Miller used to get those penalties when it's perfect. Here we go. Carson Wentz drop back, looking, firing, and it's going to be caught, and he gets out of bounds. That's Scott with the first down. Carson Wentz trying to get the grass out of his helmet. Sometimes you just got to let it go, buddy. Will Reichard, you see what he did last week? Just squeaked it in the upright against the Bengals, but that was from what, 64? 63? So they really just need about 15 to 20 more yards. They got 43 seconds to do it. Justin Jefferson, he is without a catch on this final drive. Let's see if they go find him. Carson Wentz trying to roll, and he just throws it. That's going to be intentional grounding. He wasn't out of the pocket. No receiver in the area. There has been no flag thrown. There's been no flag. Okay, now they're calling it. So they've been showing the replay. They didn't. A 10-second runoff. So now there's 27 seconds. And this reminds me of the Bills game, right? Justin Jefferson, maybe the best catch I've ever seen, where he just goes up with one hand and makes a remarkable play. They put 1 second back on, 28 seconds. You got to find a way to give Justin Jefferson a chance. He's your best player. Throw him a ball. Throw him a ball. Give him a chance to make a play. You get 20-yard play downfield, give your kicker a chance. Here we go. Carson Wentz throwing. TJ Hawkinson is going to flip. And now 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. It's third down. They can't really spike it on third down. So now it's fourth down. I'm surprised that they elected to spike the ball. Oh, now it's third down. Okay. So the production crew, they've been delayed all day with the down. I guess they were on time, that one. No, now they move it to fourth down. This is crazy. I just heard the announcer go, "It's third." Why is there always a Packers fan? No matter what game you go to. 4th and 13. Now it's a 5-yard penalty. What are you doing? How does that happen? How do you go from not being able you should have never been in a situation where you were spiking the ball on third down. This is just unbelievable. This is why they're going to lose the game. I mean, what are you doing? The urgency hasn't been there today. Here we go, 4th and 18. You got to give Justin Jefferson a chance. Throwing it, and it's incomplete, and it was intended for Jordan Addison. How does Justin Jefferson not get targeted on that entire series? How does that happen? Justin Jefferson doesn't get a target. That is unexcusable. You got one play, and you got to you got Justin Jefferson, Peyton Wilson's lined up against them. You got a linebacker on Justin Jefferson. And you throw that ball to Jordan Addison with 3 Steelers surrounding him? I don't understand it. I don't understand the decision to spike the ball on third down, to then have a delay of game penalty, to then throw a triple coverage ball to Jordan Addison with the game on the line. But the Steelers come away with a victory. Aaron Rodgers chucks a ball into the audience, and a fan out there gets a souvenir, and the Steelers improve their record to 3-1, and the Vikings fall to 500. A very disappointing ending to the game if you're a Vikings fan, because your defense gave you a chance. The Steelers, by not going for it on 4th and 1, then getting a delay of game, I felt like the Steelers gave the Vikings a chance to win this game as well, and they couldn't capitalize on it because they didn't give their best player an opportunity to make a play. They didn't have a sense of urgency. They continued to have flags. You spike the ball on third down, then you have a delay of game, making it 4th and unmanageable, and then you don't even throw it up to your best player. Very disappointing that you did all of that effort to come back, yet you had the ball on the 20-yard line with a full minute and a second to get in field goal range for a kicker that can kick it from 60 yards, and your offense wasn't even able to pick up a first down despite the holding penalty that led to a first down, because that holding call luckily got you a first down, but that play was also a drop by the Vikings. That was the only good throw you saw you saw Carson Wentz make on that final series altogether. So definitely a good win, but man, Edub says just when things can't get any more dramatic. Wow. Wentz sucks. Hate to admit it. Game over. The oversized Irish lady is singing a limerick. Steelers will be doing the jig out at the local pub after this. And I remember there was a player that passed away last year, and he was famous for the Irish jig. He actually traveled to London just to learn, or I'm sorry, traveled to Ireland just to learn how to do the Irish jig. Man, and it was Alex Collins. I don't know if you guys remember Alex Collins. He was famous for hitting the jig after the win in Ireland, and Alex Collins. And he was a running back for the Baltimore Ravens. And he also played for the Ravens. And he passed away in August of 2023 in a motorcycle accident in Lauderdale Lakes in Florida. And it was just really sad. But he was famous for the Irish jig. And every time I see anyone bring up the Irish jig or a game that's being played in Ireland, of course, the Irish jig always comes up. And you can't think of the Irish jig without thinking of Alex Collins. So, hate to say it, but the clock management has been a thing for the Vikings. Yeah, I'm just now coming to consciousness on this Vikings thing, which I didn't realize that that's been going on. 28-3, LOL. He had his moments today, but he still struggled with feeling escape and pressure. Yeah, I felt like Carson Wentz is doing a great job. I mean, you got to keep in mind, you got to keep perspective in mind. Like this is not a starting quarterback. This is a backup quarterback that got you a big win last week, and now he went against the Steelers team, who some people have winning the North, and he gave you a chance to win the game. I mean, that's pretty much all you're gonna get from a backup quarterback. Like, you're not gonna get, a starting quarterback. Uh, I felt like Carson Wentz did enough to give his team a chance to win, but it just wasn't enough. The final drive was pretty much it's a shame because the Vikings had shown all game that they were capable when they really needed a touchdown to get one until that final drive, and now people are just gonna sum up the entire game of Carson Wentz to what that final drive was, when really, I thought he played a good game. Like, I thought even though that, they weren't scoring a ton of points, I felt like he was putting the ball in good places. I thought he was doing a good job combating the blitz defensively. I thought he was spreading the ball around. I like that he was going to Justin Jefferson. I think he had 5 catches on the opening drive. I liked what I was seeing out of Carson Wentz today. So I don't wanna just throw it all away because of that final drive. The final drive was disappointing, but Carson Wentz is still, as a backup quarterback, giving you a chance to win games against top 10 teams in the NFL. Um, you really can't ask for more than that with a quarterback coming off the bench, and really, we don't even know if JJ McCarthy gives you a better chance of winning than Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz has looked better in his 2 games than we've seen JJ McCarthy in 2 games. JJ only looked good in one quarter. It was the fourth quarter of the Bears game. In 8 quarters, he looked good in one of them. Carson Wentz, at least, maybe his ceiling's not as high because there's a lot of unknown with McCarthy, but his floor is definitely higher than, McCarthy. So, it's just disappointing ending for the Vikings. Embrace the struggle. I'm still sort of a Wentz guy, but as an Eagles fan, I'll always be grateful for his efforts in 2017 before he got injured. Yeah, yeah, he had a year, right? And he's a South Dakota State guy, which is just cool. Not a lot of NFL quarterbacks from South Dakota State. Maybe with a less injured O-line and 1 or 2 less sacks, the outcome could have been reversed. Yeah, and I said it too when this game was 24-6. I was like, there's going to be 2 minutes left, and the Vikings are going to have the ball with the chance to win it. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. That's why I let me see. I put I had a $3 bet on the Vikings winning, but I hedged that bet with a $5 bet that the Vikings covered 11.5 spread, which they did, of course. They ended up losing by 3. So that bet paid for itself. Let's see, settled Vikings. Yep. Plus 11.5. I bet $6. I won $11.77. So now let's see what games we have coming up. All right. We got games in 5 minutes. Let's go more NFL. Let's go anytime. Let's see. 50% profit boost. Claim now. All right, let's go anytime touchdowns. Eagles, Buccaneers. Let's go with Emeka Egbuka with a touchdown. Let's go A.J. Brown for the Eagles. Saints game. Let's go James Cook. Give me a Dalton Kincaid touchdown. Browns, Lions. Give me a David Montgomery. Let's go. Titans, Texans. Give me a Nick Chubb touchdown for the Texans. No, I'm taking that off. I don't want that. I don't want anything to do with that. Chargers, Giants, Omari and Hampton touchdown. I'll take that. Commanders, Falcons. Give me a Bijan Robinson. He's not staying out of the end zone 2 weeks in a row. Chuba Hubbard, Trayvon Henderson, Ramondre Stevenson. I'm not touching that. Colts, Rams. Give me a Jonathan Taylor. Give me a Puka Nacua as well. Give me a 50% profit boost. $5 wins $3,000. We're gonna go 4 to win 2,500. All right, my bets open. Here we go. Go crop. And let's see. Steelers are going into the bye week. Here we go. These are the touchdowns we want. Bijan Robinson, Amarian Hampton, David Montgomery, Dalton Kincaid, Puka Nakua, Jonathan Taylor, A.J. Brown, Emeka Abuka. These guys score a touchdown, and we win $2,500. You truly love to see it, right? And then we're gonna look at the spreads here. Buffalo minus 14.5. Cleveland, let's go Detroit minus 9.5. Chargers minus 6.5. Tampa Bay plus 3.5. They keep it within a field goal. Washington plus 2.5. Tennessee plus 7.5. Carolina. Let's go New England minus 5.5. Colts. Oh, I don't know what to do with the Rams game. I'm gonna go plus 3.5. Go $1. 165. All right. Now let's see if Rick has a stream set up. All right. Let me change the title of this. Here we go. Week 4 live stream. NFL Week 4 live stream. Stream must be scheduled for a future date. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this stream. So that way I can present the stream as week 4 and not Steelers versus Vikings. It'll confuse people. But I will be right back, and we will continue streaming week 4. I'll see you guys in a minute.